Collect for CRA. Have you called me? Okay, 5 units. 100 units. What? Milliliters are units? Alright. Wait, I want to take my blood sugar before, but I'm not showing you what the result is. My heart's pounding, like... So I know I have to keep track of this.
And yes, that is Foodie Beauty. Chantel Marie, raw dogging, 8 insulin shot, no washing hands, no alcohol swab, no sharps container, insight. I'm very interested to see what she's going to do with all of those needles, because if you guys know, those aren't the ones that sort of have the guard that guard the needle. They have the cap. I don't know. I don't even want to know. Whatever. But hi guys, how are you doing today? My name is Kidneyjay. The J stands for jerk because my kidneys are a pair of jerks. And yes, this is a Foodie Beauty video. We had a hospital bees that she tells us about, and I am going to get into it all. Now there has been a lot of talk in the community about a dialysis bees, and I'm going to talk about that. There were some numbers that the doctor talked about, creatinine being one of them, that I'm going to explain as well and give you my thoughts. So before we do get started, you guys know what I'm going to need you to do. Please sanitize that like button. Pour a little alcohol situation on the subscribe button, and if you want to, you can support my channel further. I do have memberships down below. Leave a comment. Like I said, love learning from you guys, love hearing from you guys. So when we last left Foodie Beauty, she was not feeling well. I did a video about how she was so swollen and how that could be a kidney issue. So it turns out she did end up going to a clinic and then apparently to the hospital. So let's just hear what she has to say, and of course I'll add my commentary as we go.
Anyway, so I was sick, and I had the same symptoms of the last time I had the kidney infection, starting with the chills and everything. So I waited a bit, like another couple days, because I'm dumb. Took cranberry extract, and I just kind of like slept a lot, but like I decided to go back to the same doctor that I was seeing.
So I know why she threw in. I went back to the same doctor I was seeing because a lot of people have been giving her a hard time about continuity of care, of how a physician gets to know you, develops a rapport with you, knows your history. Whether she saw the same doctor or not, I don't know. And then about the cranberry extract, there's a time and place for, natural medicine. Do I think in Foodie Beauty's case we're there? Absolutely not. No.
So I went to the doctor and he did more blood work. My blood sugar when I got there was like 22, I think. And he was like concerned about that, and so he did blood work, urine test, and he was like shocked at the numbers, like on the kidney level. So he's like, your blood sugars are not going down, because like they weren't going down no matter how much of my pills I was taking, like. So, and he's like, and those pills, like if you have a kidney problem, they're not really that good, like to take more, so that's a no-no.
Okay, so previously Chantel said that another doctor, I guess, said that if her blood sugars were elevated, to take more of her diabetic medication, metformin. This doctor is saying it's a no-no, and yeah, if your kidneys are compromised or impaired in any way, that could lead to a buildup of metformin in the system, and that could lead to lactic acidosis, which is no bueno. Now, she talks about the kidney values, which we'll get into that. We'll get into all that.
He's like, I'm gonna write you a note. You need to go to the hospital. You need to see a nephrologist. And I'm like, oh, great. So then I did that. I went to the hospital, the emergency.
So they sent her to see a nephrologist, which is a kidney doctor. Nephro is a Greek word for kidneys. Ologist is someone who specializes in something. Um, if she had been in Canada and actually had been compliant with her treatment of type 2 diabetes, she probably would have been referred to a nephrologist a long time ago, not only because she's on the metformin and she would have been having blood work probably every 3 months, and they would be following her kidney function, and if anything was askew, they would have sent her to a nephrologist, as well as diabetes. You know, a complication of diabetes is chronic kidney disease. So she probably should have been seeing a nephrologist years ago, in my opinion. Also, I'm aware she put out a vlog a few hours ago showing her experience in the hospital. I'm aware it seems like a nothing burger to me.
Basically, like, I was put on IV antibiotics. I was given lots of fluids. I was given like something, I don't know what it was. It looked like a jumbo. It was like this long, a needle, like a syringe this big and thick. And it had some kind of solution in it. And they were giving me like 5 milligrams an hour. So I don't know what that was. Something maybe for the blood sugar.
You think? I don't think her blood sugar just went down magically on its own. I'm 99% sure that was insulin. Come on, cutie. Ask what you are being given in the hospital. And I implore everyone to do this. Even if you're sure, just double check. Say, hey, what is this? What's the dose? Just so you can take a mental note of maybe how you're feeling before and after it. As well as to make sure you're not double dosed. You know, accidents do happen. So she said she was given fluids, antibiotics, and this mystery drug. I think she was probably given something to help with the fluid retention, a diuretic of some sort. Maybe it was hydrochlorothiazide, maybe it was Lasix, because even though she does have the filters to the max, you can see that she's not as fluid overloaded or as puffy as she was before.
Video like showing my my things. Mostly like they were worried about like the creatinine level. But
okay, when I heard that, I was like, ding, 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 ding. So growing up with chronic kidney disease, I never heard of words like GFR. Mostly how they determined how well or how bad my kidneys were doing by this creatinine level, which is a measure of how well your kidneys are performing their job by filtering the waste. Now, some of you may think, well, creatinine sounds a lot like creatine, which it definitely does, because creatinine is a byproduct of creatine, you know, those big jugs of supplements that the gym bros and gym gals use. So when I saw that, I was like, no wonder she was feeling so awful. When you have a buildup of toxins, creatinine being one of them, how she described the nausea was exactly how I felt in, stage 3, stage 4, end stage renal failure. Not saying that's what she was in. But those of you who don't know my story, basically, urine flowed up into the kidneys, scarred and damaged them, and I developed a severe kidney infection, which led to chronic kidney disease. Now, I know I put stuff like this on the screen so you guys can see, like, basically in words, but I don't have to Google this stuff. This is stuff I have lived. Now, hopefully Foodie Beauty follows up with this nephrologist so they can follow and monitor her her kidney function as she continues to herple through this earth.
like my A1C actually went down. It was like 10. What was it before? Anyways, I'm curious. It was like down like a full point. It was like 10 something like back in November when I went to see this doctor, and now it's 9, which is high, but it's still going down, so I'm happy about that.
I guess we'll rejoice it's going down, but her A1C is at 9 and 10%. We've talked about A1C on the channel before. It's an average of your blood sugar over a 3-month period. Now, most doctors will start you on insulin when it does reach that 9 or 10% mark. So obviously this doctor knew what he was doing. He sort of knew the protocols and started her on insulin.
Yeah, the creatinine. Oh, I don't know if it's in the liver section. Yeah, the creatinine was pretty high. So that is why they were concerned. But then the ER doctor's like, your kidney function has improved a lot since being here, and I'm not worried about the creatinine level anymore. It's gone down, so.
So to Foodie Beauty or anyone else watching this video, why would the creatinine be found in the liver section of blood work? It's because it's an amino acid that's stored and produced in the liver. However, it is cleared by the kidneys. And if it's not being cleared by the kidneys, that gives the doctors a good indication that something is up with the kidneys. So let me just summarize all of this. Do I think it's good she's on insulin? Yes and no. Yes, because she badly needs it to get her blood sugars under control. But knowing how Foodie Beauty is not compliant, she could run the risk of getting hypoglycemic, running the risk of having low blood sugars. I know in dialysis, when the diabetic nurse comes around, when they look at people's glucometers and the history, if they see lower blood sugars, these are people who are on insulin, they are more concerned than the higher blood sugars, because, you know, it can be dangerous. You could pass out, you could go into a coma, all sorts of things. And do I think Foodie Beauty is going to use the insulin to quote unquote cheat? Definitely. I think she's going to start maybe taking certain liberties, saying I could take more insulin so I could eat this and that. Hey, I'm just predicting. We'll see what comes of it. Now, as far as dialysis, there's a lot of dialysis talk in the community. Foodie Beauty, no, I don't think she's there yet. Future, yes, I do think she has compromised her kidneys with this recurring infection with her high blood sugars. Now, just so you know, the reason why when you have uncontrolled blood sugars that you get urinary tract infections and kidney infections is because when you have such high sugars, you actually have sugar in the urine, which is a breeding ground for bacteria, as well as a lot of diabetics can't feel maybe the burning sensation like normal people would. And then, of course, if you let it fester, it can turn into something more serious, like a kidney infection, which should actually even lead to more serious things, like sepsis. Now, as far as dialysis goes, why she's not there yet, and I don't think she will be anytime soon, is because there are certain measures doctors will go to before they actually start you on dialysis. So they can give you medications to lower potassium if there is a buildup of potassium in the system, medications to get fluid off of you, medications to build up red blood cells, because I've spoken before how the kidneys do play an integral part of building red blood cells. So she's not there yet. However, when she said creatinine, oh, what a chill. What a chill to the bottom of my little atrophied kidneys, because that is a number growing up that we were always concerned about. I'd get blood work done, and it's like, oh, what's your creatinine? What's your creatinine? Always creatinine, creatinine, creatinine. So I really hope, and I don't hold my breath, that she follows up with this with a nephrologist. I don't know. We'll see where things go. I'll talk to you later. Bye.